Hi, my name is Mick Rodgers from Axial Benefits Group. We've heard from so many of you over this crazy time with your thoughts and your questions and your even some anxieties that we thought it would be helpful to get a small hand-selected group of experts to answer their frequently asked questions that they're hearing from their areas of expertise. Those areas of expertise, are from our perspective, the employee benefits, the retirement plans, employment law, HR policies, procedures, HR leadership, et cetera, maybe even some finance issues. If you're anything like us, our email is being overwhelmed with COVID response. I joke that my email looks like a Twitter feed right now with COVID response email. So we're trying to figure out, we thought it would be helpful to do a different format from that, get these experts to actually answer these questions on video clips so that we could get that out and it could get a little bit above the normal email response. Today's guest is Laurie Glaude. Laurie is the founder of Aurora Business Solutions. Aurora specializes in human resource, leadership, and people development as a consulting firm. We found that Laurie's been a great resource for our clients over the last few years. We've been doing more and more work with her, and I think that you'll agree that she's a great knowledge base for these type of issues. So good morning, Laurie.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I really appreciate you coming on. I think some of these questions that we've been getting from our clients, I mean, we, have really started to come from our HR professionals. And candidly, I think that our HR professionals are stressed out. They're being overworked. They're deprived of resources in a normal time, never mind this time, right? I mean, it's happening now. It's a lot of HR. I'm almost thinking about it as HR on the fly, right? I mean, some of these policies and procedures that are needing to change almost daily, or with the governor's orders, et cetera. How are you advising your clients, your HR professionals, on what decision? Well, so first of what decisions to sort of think about, how to make those decisions, and then really importantly, how to start getting those HR policies that are changing out to a remote base.
So the first thing I think you have to do is, as you develop your policy, think the end in mind. So we're not going to be in this COVID crisis forever. We do need to think about getting our businesses back to normal. We don't have any guidance to fall on any past histories and things like that. So let's take remote workers, since that's the biggest one. Start thinking about what has to happen for that employee to work successfully in a temporary situation. And so as you frame your policy, keep it in terms of, this is a temporary flexible work arrangement that we have set up, and think about all of the pieces that go with it, whether it's how do you provide high-speed internet for your employees if they don't have it, or the tools that they need to be able to work from home, and then what those boundaries are around that when they're dealing with your clients or your customers. But then think about what is that going to look like getting them back? So as you form the policy, talk about this is temporary. This is our part of our pandemic response plan. It all should fit together. And then communicate that in terms that are clear, that are concise, whether it's via a WebEx like this, or if it's in a memo. I think you can't communicate it enough. I'm not a big fan of just sending out a memo saying, here's our new policy. I like socializing it. And so that everybody sees that you are trying as an organization to keep the business moving. There's been a lot of discussion about essential versus non-essential and how all of that's working. So talk about that. Talk about why you're doing this and how long you anticipate it and when it might change. And then revisit that frequently. When you create a standard for your business, if you don't socialize it regularly, it gets forgotten and then it doesn't work for you. So socialize your standards regularly, have scheduled check-ins, And then again, listen to your employees. You've got employees who are working remote that now have two jobs, your job, and they may be homeschooling their children. There may be other issues happening there.
Right.
So you have to be open, but start with the end first as you begin to write that policy, because we're in a transition period right here. We're not in permanent state yet.
Right. Great advice. So I really appreciate your time this morning. We'll make sure that we get your contact information out included so that folks can reach out direct. But I really appreciate your time, and for everyone else, please be safe. It's the #1 priority right now, and keep an eye open for other regular updates from experts like Laurie, and maybe Laurie herself as a part of this series. So thank you very much.